The Dutch seem pretty fucking cool.
And they got great ovens.
Zach, Ashbo, Andrew, Justin, too. This is your pirate podcast crew. Let's get dumped on and drink some grog and info dump on you. We learn about the pirate life, their boat, strings, hair, and even some fights. The golden age is here to stay on. Get dumped on and info dump podcast. Yarr!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Get Dumped On and Info Dump podcast. My name is Bo here. We're about to take some dumps on some friends. I'm followed by my other friends as well. I'm mumbling and stumbling as I'm doing this right now. This is already going to shit. All right, anyway. I hate it here, and I was prepared mentally to do this, and then it all just went to shit. Anyway, you know the gist of this. We're people we like to get dumped on by friends who are smarter. Like, we like that dirty dumping on our chest. Let's do this. Here we go. I'm also here with Andrew, Zach, Ash, and our guest host Justin. Take it away. Where we talk about pirates. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh my god,
Hi,
you're
Justin.
so good at this, Bo. I love
Welcome
you.
to our
so good at
first
this.
guest episode.
Oh, great. Hey.
It is our 10th episode extravaganza, which means that we have the guest, and Bo forgot to mention that.
Yeah. So we have our first guest. His name is Justin. He knows everything about everything. I don't know about that. He knows everything about something, and he's going to dump on us today.
Before we start in proper, I just wanted to run something by y'all. I was thinking about what we should call guest episodes because, you know, we got upper deckers and like, well, I was thinking like maybe party poopers
Oh, I like that.
or I don't know, ghost
I
dumper.
enjoyed
But
that.
like, I don't know.
Ghost dumper.
Ghost dumper.
Why?
It doesn't
I mean,
make as much
I don't
sense.
know.
Though. It's
It
not
doesn't
like
really make a lot of sense. No, it
it's
doesn't.
not like a phrase like party pooper already is.
The first person to email us at getdumpedon.
No, just message us on Instagram. Stop telling
It's
people to email us.
getdumpedonpodcast@gmail.com.
I don't know why.
Zach
You're telling
made
people
an
to
email, and I
Gmail
want to
us.
use it.
Just message us on
Jesus
Instagram.
Christ, this is spiraling so hard already. Justin hasn't even talked yet.
I'm so sorry, Justin. Let's talk about pirates. Welcome to the podcast.
So why don't you, say hi, give us a little background on your pirate knowledge and what pirate school you went to. And yeah.
And don't forget to do the one rule we told you to do.
I'm ahoy, mateys.
No,
There
that
you
wasn't
go.
it. That wasn't it.
That was that wasn't.
No, there was one stipulation for him being on the podcast.
Well, hey, what's up? I am Justin. I have been around to many a.
You're supposed to call Bo handsome. He wants you to call him handsome.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was I had to do that first. I
Well,
can't do that last.
he said you have to do it, and he said he'll leave if you don't do it. So it actually would probably.
Oh, I'm
benefit
serious.
if-
I will leave too.
Bo.
Yeah?
You're handsome.
Oh,
Oh, what a guy!
Oh.
All right, take it away,
Wow.
Justin. Go.
All
A
right.
tender moment.
So, I actually grew up going to a lot of different Ren fairs and kind of fell into the whole piracy aspect that's thrown into a Renaissance fair. And when I moved down to North Carolina, I lived outside of an area called Beaufort, North Carolina, where they do a historical pirate invasion. I got really involved down there as much as I could. Fell in with all of the pirate lore. Of course, Pirates of the Caribbean was a big thing, growing up. And
Can I pause you for a second here?
yeah.
What the fuck is a pirate invasion? And
That sounds
why
awesome.
have I not heard of this before? You really need to please go far into the pirate invasion.
I assume it's like LARPing, but like with pirates.
Kind of.
Parping?
So think
Is it called parping?
think of a Civil War historical reenactment. The port city of Beaufort, North Carolina, was actually sacked by Spanish privateers. So they do a reenactment of that battle there, but also they throw in some of the golden age of piracy, heroes, if you will, or anti-heroes, and They do, tons of different games. They have booths set up. They have drinking events, and they hand out basically bingo cards of people that are dressed up as Blackbeard and Anne Bonny and Calico Jack.
That is
so
awesome.
they send people around. So you have to. I actually got mistaken as one of them on there. I think it was actually Bartholomew Roberts. It's either him or Black Bellamy. I remember one kid. She was pointing to me, pointing to her parents, pointing to the card. And I caught her out of the corner of my eye, so she comes up to ask me for my autograph, and I've got a replica flintlock on my belt. I pulled it, cocked it, and shoved it in her nose.
Oh my god! Did you get kicked out immediately?
No, but they thought it was hilarious. Her parents were rolling.
That was a gamble right there.
She's shitting herself in fear, and her parents are just like laughing their asses off.
I'm sure it was a lot more gentle than it sounds.
Probably. I was quite enjoying myself that day.
And then I pulled the trigger.
And then I pulled the trigger. No.
And then I
Say
pulled out my
goodnight.
gun.
Yarr.
So yeah, I've become known as that pirate guy in most friend groups. Actually, I have so much Ren Fair stuff that I wear pirate boots and a coat on a normal day. So
This is true. I've seen this. He's worn pirate boots to my house.
yep, it's what I wear.
Yeah.
They're my shoes.
Now, is there a
Yeah.
specific name
This is my
for
Halloween costume.
pirate boots? Because I know that there's Chelsea boots and desert boots. And is there a name for pirate boots? Do they have like an actual name, or is it just pirate boots?
As far as I know, they don't. You can, call them sailor boots, or mostly when you look them up, it's just pirate boots. I don't think that there's a name for this specific cut.
That makes sense because they're pirate boots.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
it
expect
makes
anything
sense,
less.
it makes sense, but I'm still disappointed.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. Hopefully,
You want to make up a name right now, Justin?
Yeah, just motivate.
they are deck boots.
Deck boots.
There we go. Deck
All
boots.
right, waffle stompers for the poop deck.
Okay, sir. This is a family-friendly podcast. You can't introduce your poop talk into it.
You can't decide at the 10th episode that it's family
3
friendly.
seconds in. Yeah, it's been pretty bad.
Yeah,
But
this-
My
family
first sentence
friendly
out of the
this
mouth
whole
was,
time.
let's talk about people taking dumps on chests. I don't think we're
it was a whole fucking thing.
Anyway,
Sorry, Justin, you keep going. Yeah.
All right.
Let's get back on track.
Yeah, so I actually did want to start this with one of my favorite quotes that's kind of within this realm by a man named... We'll get to that. We'll save it for the pod.
Oh.
But Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The health of the eye seems to demand the horizon. We are never tired so long as we can see far enough."
I like that quote. I think it says a lot about the human spirit and our desire to go places.
So funny enough, that quote was actually
yeah.
written about 100 years after the Golden Age of Piracy ended.
Oh, okay. So he stole it from them.
No, I think he
Ralph
just had a
Waldo
very
Emerson is a
romanticized...
fucking asshole. Is what you're saying.
Well, he was a romantic
probably.
for sure.
He was a philosopher.
a poet and a writer.
I mean, he was a major figure in the Romanticism movement, wasn't he? Around that time in like literature and poetry.
I'm going to be honest. My only knowledge about him is Googling his name, having known this quote.
I
That's
remember
it.
we had to read some of his poems. Was he the one who wrote The Village Blacksmith? It's irrelevant. It's fine.
This isn't a Wolf Waldo Emerson podcast.
Yeah,
But
it's
it
about
could
pirates.
be.
Yarr!
This is about pirates.
Scurvy. Poop deck.
Before I go any further,
Yeah,
though,
The
I
Village
do have a
Blacksmith, I
question.
need to put this has to
Zach,
be on
just
record.
it doesn't
Let him
it
speak.
doesn't matter, Zach.
I don't want people to think that I'm an idiot who doesn't know who poems are by. The Village Blacksmith
most
is by
of us
Henry
don't
Wadsworth
know.
Longfellow.
okay, so they're gonna judge
Okay.
Me and Bo, holy fuck. Like,
All right,
I barely know
Justin.
how to put my shoes on, man. Like,
I just don't want misinformation to be attributed to me.
I'm going to attribute all of the misinformation to you now. I'm going to go into every comment page and say everyone's awesome, but Zach has no idea what he's talking about.
Cute.
Let the record show Zach's an idiot.
Motion passes.
Really hurts. It's just really hurting.
Democracy.
actually,
You know what
guys.
hurts? You know what hurts? You know what hurts?
Oh
Call
God.
back. You call me a pig, you ass.
Yeah, call back.
Okay, well, who's stopping Justin from talking now? You fucking pig.
You're talking.
Oh my god.
I think I kind of started this one, so that one's on
So,
me.
Justin, when me, Zach, and Bo start going off kilter, Ash just takes over and just keeps talking until we all shut up. So just do that.
All right. Well, then I actually do have a question that unfortunately requires your input here. Do you know what a pirate's favorite letter is?
Arrgh.
That is incorrect. It's the C.
It's the
dumbass.
C. Yeah. hey, come on. There's two answers. To that. What are you talking about?
All right.
You tell me they don't like ours?
Aye, his first love be the sea.
Can I tell
Actual-
the one pirate joke that I know?
Oh yeah.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So a pirate walks into a tavern and he has the ship's wheel sticking out of his pants. And somebody says, "Hey, why is that ship's wheel sticking out of your pants?" And the pirate
It's
goes,
driving me
"Yarr,
nuts."
it's driving me nuts. You fucker. Ah, you bitch.
I'm sorry. I thought it was like a joke, like you were going to ask us. I'm sorry. That's my bad. Do you want to redo that?
I'm
so you sound cooler?
inconsolable now. Now I'm inconsolable.
Good solo.
Can I say my pirate joke?
Yeah.
So a pirate walks into a tavern, right? Yarr. That's all I got.
No, I got one. A pirate walks into a bar.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, facts.
Sorry, Zach. Jesus Christ.
Facts now. Okay, so the golden age of piracy began in 1650 and ended somewhere around 1720. At this point in time, the Caribbean islands were starting to become the main focus of both Spain and England. Everyone wanted a piece of land, everyone wanted to sell sugar, everyone wanted a hand in the slave trade. The climate in the area made sugar a huge resource. I mean, you guys have heard of the Eastern India Trading Company. Those guys loved this. They capitalized on every single bit of sugar and rum and molasses proceeds that came out of it. So,
was that the first time they had sugar? Is that why they were like, holy fuck, this stuff is good?
It's not the first time that they had sugar, but it's the first time that they could be like mass producing it, basically.
Yeah, the vast quantity. It's like we can get fucking pounds and pounds and pounds.
Yeah,
they didn't have diabetes back then. Not yet. I mean, maybe shortly after that, but
yeah.
Well, type 1 for sure.
yeah.
Yes,
that's a given.
But since sugar was such a like dangerous thing to make too, because of the scalding hot water necessary in its production, it was run entirely off of slave labor.
1, it's hot. 2, it's sticky.
Interesting.
Ooh, hot and sticky. That's a bad combo.
It was like sugar napalm.
Yeah, really.
Sugar fucking napalm.
If it's hot and sticky, it's hot and sticky environments seem to make good sugar, right? Because they're making it in the Caribbean,
right?
Whatever.
No, I mean I don't mean that the
climates,
I don't.
But no, it. Imagine you have a vat full of like nothing but this molten sugar that sticks to your skin and continues to burn.
Yeah, like when you get popped, you get popped with bacon grease. Imagine if it just stayed there.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. I'm into that.
Because all of these imports and exports were coming out of the area, and not just Spain and England were looking into it, France wanted a piece of the action, and so did the Dutch. And everyone was employing the fucking Dutch.
Dutch, dude, they want everything. I swear to God.
Every time you think about, like, you know, the sugar trade, and you're like, it's just like the way that they do it is slaves. And it's like, everyone's like, yeah, okay, cool. The rest of the world is just like, oh, yep, that's the way that it is. And that happened for so long. It's bad and crazy.
Everything was awful.
The main problem that I'm having with the Dutch is that I'm currently reading a book about a Dutch shipwreck in the 1620s, and they only have like 4 names and they're all incomprehensible. And so I am having so much trouble keeping the individual people straight. But
it's Hans.
Zach, have you ever seen my last name? My last name is actually Dutch. Here, I'm gonna just send that to you. But yep.
Is it you? That's fucked up, dude.
Is you this man? Wow, he really hates the Dutch right now. Holy fuck.
But a practice at this time, because everyone wanted a piece of the action, and it wasn't necessarily beholden to any one country, is they couldn't extend their military powers out past their border without stretching too thin. So they would offer up letters of marque. Basically, anyone could get a privateer's license. You were beholden to the crown for 2 years. You sailed with your own ship, your own crew, and you did nothing but fuck with the other countries, steal their stuff, and sell it off to whomever your country was.
Sell swords.
Wait, were these pirates?
Mercenaries.
This is where pirates basically began in what we consider the golden age of piracy.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yep.
If I didn't know so much about how terrible it was to live on a ship, I'd say that sounds like a lot of fun.
So, yeah, well, that's why a lot of them ended up mutinying and becoming pirates for their own financial gain.
I would. Fuck.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the guys, they'd get these letters of marque, and these are people whom, you know, in a lot of cases either came from military or never had power like this before in their life, and then suddenly were able to force people into horrible conditions to drive them further and get more and more and more and more until eventually they snapped and ended up killing them. That's how a lot of munities went down.
Anarchy, yeah!
Now, the idea of piracy didn't begin here. One of the earliest, like, recorded forms of piracy is actually back at the Vikings. Viking is a Norse word for raiding. So if you were a Viking, you were a Vikinger. And these guys were, like, the origin of what we consider to be a pirate. They showed up, they took what wasn't theirs, they kept it for themselves, and they had a fucking ball.
So did they have ships? Like, did they have ship battles, or was that primarily a Viking is just like a group of assholes?
It was mainly a group of assholes. Their ships weren't large enough to do like boarding parties like we would think of in
fucking losers.
The Golden Age, right?
Please,
a bunch of jerks
Andrew,
with their shitty little boats.
Andrew, you can't talk shit on the Vikings. We are descended from Vikings. Also, we have listeners from Finland. At least one.
That's badass.
Finland. Wait, hold on. I thought like did Vikings come from Finland?
Vikings
They're from that whole area.
all of Scandinavia.
All Scandinavia. And
Everyone from Finland is like super nice.
Our grandfather did a DNA test, and he's got the Viking DNA.
I didn't get any of that. I don't think I did. I got like the sleepy DNA or something.
Are you kidding? You're so fucking tall.
I'm so sleepy.
But I'm so sleepy.
Thanks for calling me tall.
But okay, but like pirates are people who are not allied to any specific country, right? But Vikings were all like chilling in Viking town, like they were doing it for.
Yeah, well,
it's
Vikings were clan based, and if you want, I can do another guest podcast on that one because that's a whole nother swath of crap that I'm very familiar with. But yeah, pirates in the golden age of piracy at the time were unaffiliated. They actually began trying to create their own nation known as Nassau, where they were ungoverned and free from any crown. There were some pirates like Benjamin Hornigold who were basically like, hey, we can do whatever we want as pirates, but you can't attack the British because we're British.
His name is Horny Gold. That's like
Horning.
Oh, no, I'm gonna say Horny Gold.
It's horny.
Well, he was kind of a douche.
I'm Mr. Hornigold, and we shall not attack the British.
I want you to start calling me Horny Bo now too, as we're doing.
Mr. Horny Bo.
Absolutely
How you doing, Bo?
Never once
how
will
are
I
you enjoying
ever-
this
no.
podcast?
Veto.
Very horny.
Bo, how are you enjoying this?
Very horny.
This makes me really uncomfortable.
Bo's very horny right now. Just for everyone listening online, Bo is fully bricked up.
I don't
right
like that.
Just whatever you picture Bo to be,
I don't like that.
think of that.
You're horny.
No.
Horny.
No.
This is making me extraordinarily uncomfortable.
I thought you were about to say unhorny.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay, you didn't say no.
All right, so tell us more about Hornigold.
Yeah, tell me more of that horny gold, man.
Well, Benjamin Hornigold was one of the few people that was associated with Blackbeard, which we'll get into him a little bit later. But then later on, when the King's Pardon came around, which was this idea from the crown to get rid of piracy, they would offer the King's Pardon. You could take the pardon, return to society, you have nothing against you, assuming you don't do anything else to fuck up. Or you die.
But
that was the offer.
okay, but like they're not going to give you any like land or anything.
Nope, they would say you have a clean slate. Go.
I don't like
You
that.
didn't-
I feel like
you
there
didn't
needs
get
to be an
anything?
incentive because you're on the open seas. You're making a fuckload of money. You're probably like hot as fuck. Like I assume all pirates had six packs. So like, what's the incentive of?
Well, the incentive was basically not being drawn, quartered, and hanged.
If I'm in the ocean, I'm not worried about that at all. You got to come get me.
The offer was more towards, so the infamous characters that you think of were sort of aiding in the governing body of Nassau at the time, and the place was a shithole. They were disease-ridden, they had horrible infrastructure, they just like laid out on the beach, drinking, spending all of their money on whores, everyone had the same STD, and it was awful.
Hey, if everyone has the same one, I mean, then you're not going to
you know you're doing fine, but no.
Unless
it
it's syphilis and it literally turns your brain into Swiss cheese.
which
Yeah, that's true.
did happen.
That's true.
I guess you could say they were all horny.
This is like that. This is like that town in New Hampshire that got taken over by libertarians and then subsequently taken over by bears.
What? Hold on. Please explain. I would like just give me the cliff notes of this because I need to hear about what
The
what?
libertarians didn't want to supply any of the normal services that you expect from a town, like trash removal. And so nobody wanted to do the trash removal. Nobody wanted to like pay the exorbitant amounts that you'd expect from a libertarian for trash removal. So all of these bears were like, I could fucks with all this trash. And then the bears basically were like so ravenously going after all the trash that everyone had to like stay in their homes or like risk getting fucked up by bears.
What year was this? Do you like recent or old?
I want to say it was sometime in the past 2 decades.
What?
I can see that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we need. Okay. Yeah. We'll move on with Justin. But holy shit, I need to learn about this.
We'll circle back.
Yeah. More on that later. But so you guys have heard the term buccaneer?
Yarr.
Yeah, they're my
Yes.
least favorite football team.
They do. Yeah. So now they're known for
that was funny. That was funny.
sports.
Thank you. You're funny and tall.
But at the time, a buccaneer was considered like a pirate specialty. You know, you took your secondary class in buccaneering. But the
You're
term,
a swashbuckler or you're a buccaneer.
yeah, pretty much sailor, swashbuckler, buccaneer. You know,
This is your class choice.
Yep, you had a talent tree to go down. But the term buccaneer was actually taken from the Spanish word bucanero, and it derives from the Caribbean Arawak word for bucan, which was a wooden apparatus that they used to roast and smoke meat. So one of the first things that people started stealing down there was actually like whalers would come back, or people would come back fishing, and these guys would raid the ships, take the meat, take it to an island, start cooking it, and then sell it. They were like Caribbean food trucks, basically. So they became known as the Buccaneers. Yeah, because they were
fucking crazy.
There were guys that used bucas.
What type of meat was it?
Fish, seal, whale.
Seal?
Whale?
It's really funny because the other the similar word that I can think of is buckaroo, which is also a corruption of a foreign language word.
Spanish
Yeah,
word?
Buckaroo?
Yeah, like cowboys be like, "Hey there, buckaroo." It's
I usually just call that whenever I call somebody a buckaroo, it's like when I'm trying to before I do something cool, like buckle up, buckaroo, and I jump off a cliff,
Exactly. It's a corruption of vaquero in Spanish.
Interesting. Because it's also
I'm learning all kinds of things today.
Which side note, I consider cowboys to be land pirates. Change my mind.
I don't know enough about cowboys, like real cowboys, to know that, because people in Montana now are still
I also
cowboys.
don't know enough about pirates either.
All right.
I don't know enough about stuff.
Time to get into that.
If only someone was teaching us about this.
Yeah, let's get to the end of this episode and then we'll make our cowboy pirate comparisons.
I like that. That's a good idea.
I actually have 2 chumps and a dump for you guys.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
2 jumps and a dump.
2 yards and a gar.
Chumpty sat on a wall.
Are you familiar with grog? You've heard the term before?
It's like beer, right?
Oh, yes.
Or some form of it or whatever, just alcoholic stuff.
Okay, so you're familiar with the principle. Now the question is, what was grog made of? One of these is correct. Was it rum and beer, rum with spices, or rum, water, and lemons?
4-person sidebar, first one ever.
Yeah, 4-person sidebar.
Sidebar.
I mean, Zach, I think we kind of... Do you think you know?
I absolutely 100% know because I used to volunteer at Mystic Seaport.
Get the fuck out of the sidebar. Get out of here.
Sure.
Get out.
I'm pretty sure I know too. So I'm gonna go over to the other sidebar. And then you guys hear.
Oh shit, Bo, we're gonna fuck this up so bad.
Oh, Andrew, I know, so I have to excuse myself.
Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding. I don't. I just wanted to be
so he said rum and beer, rum and spices, and rum and lemon and water.
What about rum and coke?
What's that's called a horny boat. That's a horny boat drink.
Yeah, next time you go to a bar, ask for the horny boat. They'll know what it is.
It's rum and coke. It's rum and coke slathered in horniness. It's more rum.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Don't ask questions. Tell no lies. So if it's grog, I feel like it'd just be like rum and beer. That's a weird thing to mix. But then again, getting beer on the open seas is probably pretty hard, right? So it would probably rum and spices or lemon and water. Let's go lemon and water. Let's do that. That sounds right.
Yeah, I think so too.
Me and Bo make terrible decisions. It's probably horribly wrong, but let's go with that one.
All right, show what's lemon water.
That is actually correct.
Oh
my fucking dude! Give me a high five. I'm high fiving my microphone right now. I'm high fiving my microphone right now.
Yep. Yeah, I'm fucking hitting it now.
The principle of grog was that water was stored inside wooden barrels, and if you know anything about water and wood, it doesn't really mix well, even when it's sealed on the inside. So they would add rum and lemons to it to help keep the water from going, moldy and gross, add some flavor and boost morale. So you'd be able to drink from the grog, you'd get your rations for the day, have your water, have your rum, and a little bit of lemon for flavor.
I love that. I think that's great.
Delicious.
And pirates would use this to efficacy. So one of the reasons why rum became very synonymous with pirates was not just because it was being produced and it was one of the big things that they were trying to go for, but because it was very heavily used in their boarding practices. So say you're a merchant ship. You're sailing along, you got your stuff, you're looking out for pirates, and you see another ship.
The wind is coming from the southeast today.
I don't see any pirates.
I've got a ballast full of merchandise, and when I get to my location, I'm going to replace it with bricks, and then I'm going to come back and unload the bricks, and those will be used to build houses, and then I'll fill my mountain with more rum.
Does somebody have lemon? I've got scurvy.
And then suddenly, you see someone on the horizon. But they are sailing with British colors. Well, you're British, so it's fine. You take a look at it, everything's good.
There, mate. Hey, you want some bricks and coffee? I don't know what the fuck I just said. Keep going.
And what this ship is, they're coming up on you. Suddenly, the British colors go away, and it's replaced by a Jolly Roger.
Oh shit, we've got pimples!
The Jolly Roger!
Usually this wouldn't happen until a pirate was pretty much sure that they'd be able to catch, overtake, or intimidate someone into stopping. We'll get into Jolly Rogers in a minute, but say you decided to surrender, or you were being pulled off for a boarding party. Pirates would then line the side of the deck, hanging off of the rigging, taking shots of rum, and just screaming and acting as absolutely crazy as possible. Because then you see these shirtless, tattooed fucking nutheads screaming their heads off. What are you going to do if you try and fight these
party with them, dude? Are you kidding me? Are you like, I'm coming with you?
You're within shouting range, so you're hearing them saying all of the things that they're going to do to you, living or dead.
I'm going to give them my merchandise while I still have my skin.
Exactly. Now, if they were flying a black Jolly Roger, you'd probably get away with it, because Jolly Rogers had their own coloration to them. If it were black with a design, then you had a pretty good chance of getting quarter, meaning that you would survive, maybe taken as prisoner, maybe pressed into the ship's crew, but you have a pretty good chance of making it out with your life. If it were red, you'd have no quarter. You have no chance of living. They will kill you to the last. That's when you just jump into
the sea.
And, Zach, this will only help feed your hatred. The red Jolly Rogers were predominantly used by the Dutch.
How mad are you right now?
I mean, I'm not mad. I'm just pleased that my previous expectations were bolstered.
Oh my god, guys, he's so pissed.
Yep, and they called it a blood flag. So very clear blood flag. Yeah. So when you think of a Jolly Roger, though, you know, the pirate flag, the first thing that came to your head, I bet, was either a skull and crossbones or a skull and cross swords. Am I right?
Actually, I know a little bit about this. I've seen different Jolly Rogers. I know there's one with like a standing skeleton who's like holding a spear with like a heart at the end of it. And there's a couple different ones that are pretty cool looking.
I know are some of them just solid colors?
Not typically. They were adorned. Pirates really fed into the theatricality of things. And Andrew, the one that you mentioned, was the most theatrical of all, Blackbeard.
That's my boy.
Yep. So the skull and cross swords, which was probably the most famous one, I think they even used it in Pirates of the Caribbean, was owned by Calico Jack Rackham.
I've heard that name.
And the skull and crossbones was owned by Black Sam Bellamy. So I'll talk about.
I roll with him because that one's fucking iconic. I love it.
Not to be confused with the band The Dwarves, whose logo is the skull and crossboners, and it's 2 dicks.
Well, Ash, you'd probably like being on a Bellamy's crew. He considered himself to be the Robin Hood of pirates.
Oh, we're having such a good time over there.
Granted, he was only active for about a year before he was killed, but.
You know,
it was probably a good time.
He went hard for as long as he could. I'm proud of him.
What was the average lifespan
Live fast,
from
die young.
Like
bad girls?
So,
like when you adopt a life of piracy, is it like you're lucky to make it past a year, or like
the average lifespan if you willingly became a pirate or a privateer was about 2 to 2.5 years.
That's fucking cool, man. I'm down.
Bartholomew Roberts.
You spend a couple years on the sea before you die or abandon your pirate ways.
Yeah, pretty much. Captain Bartholomew Roberts was famously quoted as saying, "A merry life and a short one."
Fuck yeah. That's YOLO. That's the first
YOLO,
yeah.
baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
He fucking loved what he did. He didn't actually want to become a captain. He said, he was basically like, if you guys want me to, I'll do it. And you guys follow me to the ends of the earth and we'll go.
I've never met this person, and I will follow them to the ends of the goddamn earth.
He was also very notorious for having a strict set of rules, which really helped. It helped maintain order on the ship. Like, you couldn't gamble against crew members because it caused infighting.
That's actually a great fucking idea. Okay,
right.
Back in.
Like, he had some good ideas. He took ideas from, strict naval traditions and then fed it into piracy and created a really good system on the ship. But most of the things, if you broke it, was punishable by death.
Okay, that
was just kind of the thing that day. Was like, hey, you fuck up, you're gonna die.
You're out of here.
It's a little much, but also, like, where would they put them? I get it. Okay, yeah, he tossed them overboard. They're gonna die anyway, so might as well just take care of it. Okay.
So, yeah, when you were killed on ship, I assume you would think that you'd walk the plank, right?
That's the coolest.
That's kind of popularized. Well, the thing is,
tying you to the mast or whatever, or the
worse
front?
than that. You're onto something here. So walking the plank wasn't very often used. What was used a lot was keel hauling.
Yeah.
And what they would do is...
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
So,
they were talking about this in the book I'm reading.
Yeah. Imagine you have a rope on your wrists and ankles, and you're thrown over the bow of the ship.
No.
And then the men pull you across the bottom of the ship, which is covered in barnacles, splintered wood, and all sorts of sea creatures that are attached to the bottom. You are drug
underneath. It's also
underneath.
just like a big-ass hunk of wood.
Yep, you're drug underneath on razor-sharp barnacles. And if you survive to the other side, and you haven't drowned, you haven't bled to death, you haven't passed out from the pain, they fucking do it again.
Why?
Just fucking pretend like you're dead.
If you're in, like, the ocean, just toss them in the ocean. No one could swim that far.
It was the shock and awe factor. What's worse, being stranded out in the water and potentially being picked up by another ship and having hope for a little bit, or being dragged underneath on razor-sharp underside of a ship while you're actively drowning in seawater?
Obviously, that one is worse.
Yeah.
But at least, like, for time-saving stuff, I mean, you just be like, they should toss Jerry over, fuck him. Like... They had to get the rope out.
It's not like they had a lot of like other activities to do, so it became a group morale thing. If everyone's in on killing this one guy who fucked up,
let's all get together and do a good old-fashioned kill hauling.
Oh my god,
dude, this guy sucks.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's a guy named fucking Irving on the ship. He's like, oh, dude, we all hate him. Like, I'm just waiting for him to gamble with somebody. And okay, now we got it. Okay.
A great modern representation actually is Saving Private Ryan, the opening of that. It comes from the same militaristic idea of you all get together for punishment against the one because he fucked up and he could take us all down.
I haven't seen Saving Private Ryan in many, many, many years.
They pull a guy down out of the rack and everyone in the platoon takes turns beating him with a sock filled with soap.
Oh, good
At
times.
least they didn't keel haul him.
You know, as you do.
What I read about keel hauling is that the Dutch East India Company, the good old VOC, used it as a punishment and not a form of execution. Not saying that pirates probably didn't. And so what they actually did was they developed, like, they came up with like a cage that they put around the person to like basically protect their head, because they were like, they wanted to keel haul people but not have it be fatal, and a bunch of people kept like bashing their head against the keel and dying from it. So they made like a special cage to protect the head but keep your like back vulnerable so that they could like scrape you across the back. Yeah,
I don't know, the Dutch seem pretty fucking cool.
And they got great ovens.
That's pretty fucking cool. They got great ovens.
Well, they
got great ovens.
The whole place smells like farts.
Dutch East India Company was basically the origins of capitalism as it exists today.
Oh, boo.
So
oh my gosh, boo, capitalism.
Because it basically introduced the concept of rich people with a lot of money buying into a company so that they can fund that company and not have to do anything on their own and then get dividends from it.
Which is what pirates fought against.
But what do you think of keel hauling?
Ow.
Here. For the pirates.
I just feel bad.
Would you rather be keel hauled the short, like the long way, or the wide way?
You give up 2 different points that I don't agree with either one of them.
As long as Bo's had as long as he's knocked back a few horny Bo's, I think Bo's down no matter what.
I would always.
So who's ready for more dump or jump?
Oh, I'm fucking ready.
Me.
Always.
So a lot of these, a lot of pirates.
Hold on. I'm not ready.
What?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, he's ready.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
God, Bo.
Love you, Bo.
So a lot of pirates came from either, traditional Navy backgrounds or privateering where they had sailor experience. And if you were on a gun crew, in a well-trained gun crew, there's a certain number of shots that you were averaging to shoot for within a 5-minute span. So in 5 minutes, could a cannon crew fire 1 shot, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Okay, 1 through 5.
In how many? You said 5 minutes?
In 5 minutes.
Okay, so think about this. You got a cannonball, right? And you
I think
shove
it's
it in
5.
the hole.
Do you want some operation that you have to go through here?
No.
It depends on the size of the cannon.
I want 0 help.
Okay.
You gotta clean the thing.
Yeah,
you gotta clean it out.
There's
and then you gotta
the fucking chimney
the
sweep
ball
guy in the front who's like, he looks like,
light it
what's his
up.
name from the thing from what's that movie called?
Jim
That one.
Mary Poppins?
He's like a Mary Poppins guy at the front of it with his little chimney sweep, and then you got Mr. Ball person. You put it in, you do the thing, and you. Let's do 5. Like, I'm fucking down.
I think that we should have Bo narrate the process of doing it.
Yeah.
Say what he's doing, and then we should time that and see how long it takes.
Okay, Bo, ready? You're gonna fire a cannon you just fired, and you have to reload it.
Justin, can you tell us if it's 5?
I can tell you when you officially guess.
Okay, so
Okay.
a cannon's
I'm
on fire,
officially
right?
guessing 5.
So it's gone, and Bo, ready, go.
Oh fuck, we gotta load this cannon again to get it ready. Grab
He's talking to the other guys.
and we gotta put it in and get ready. Fire!
What is happening?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a 5.
5 is my
What are you
official
doing?
guess.
What are you doing? Walk us through
That's a
it.
5.
They're firing back.
Oh fuck, we got hit. We're sinking. Bye.
So you guys are guessing 5?
That's a 5. That's a 5.
I don't think
I'm
Bo
guessing
understood
five.
the
I
prompt.
think I had a
All right.
second preface either.
So 5 shots in 5 minutes is incorrect.
Damn it.
The average that you would strive for is about 3. The
Okay.
process of it was
All right.
the cannon, when fired previously, would actually roll back a little bit on the interdecks. And you had a preset charge of powder to throw in there to stamp down. That's the chimney sweep guy that you're thinking of.
Okay.
It cleans off the barrel of the black powder and puts in a powder charge in behind. The next guy rolls up, throws in typically a 12, 14, or 18-pound cannonball within, slides the cannon forward, set the wick, light the wick, wait for it to fire, and repeat.
So I think Bo's process was 100% spot on. I don't know about you guys, but I heard all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, the panic was clear.
That's like 50% of it too. So
If
It's
I was
mostly
there,
just
These people
adrenaline.
weren't trained. They
if
just
I
did
was
it.
there, I could have gotten 5. Just saying, I'm built different. No, I'm just kidding.
With like modern techniques, I think like we wouldn't be shithouse on fucking grog or whatever it's called. So I think that like, yeah, we could do better.
So then,
I don't want to be anywhere near a cannon when it's firing.
That's true. Did they have ear protection? Did they have ear pro?
actually, yes. So one of the one of the forms
thank God
of
for them,
jewelry
please.
that pirates would wear was a small hoop on their ears that had a ball of wax at the end of it that they could stuff in their ears.
Dude, these guys were fucking smart. I gotta
Right?
give it to
People
them.
wear
Like
people wear those now. They
They're
have
small business owners. They're making their own money.
shop local.
They're starting their own country. Granted, there's a lot of syphilis or whatever, but like they have ear protection.
people.
Like they have their PPE. They're making
stealing.
money. They're barnacling people or whatever the fuck that was called. Like that was so cool. Good for them.
Barnacling.
I love that people do that now with earplugs. They have like little jewelry that they wear that's also earplugs. Also, sometimes some people have them that's
Little
their earrings.
strap-ons.
And so they can, when they're wearing
Little
earrings, they
strap-on.
can just like pull them up and have earplugs, and then you pull them down and they're just earrings.
Little strap-ons sounds like the worst children's toy.
That's my rapper name.
Oh God.
Did you see that episode of MythBusters where they did the eye patch
Yes.
thing?
I can confirm that is real. I have worn an eye patch for a costume a couple of times. And the hardest part about that is losing your depth perception. You don't realize how much you rely on both of your eyes to be able to grab something in front of you.
Well, wait,
that goes out the fucking window.
For those who've not seen this episode, what are you talking about?
So with Mythbusters, they tested that eye patches weren't just a like aesthetic accessory, like, oh, I lost my eye, I'm going to wear an eye patch. It was a principle based on that. You know, have you ever sat in a dark room for too long, turn the lights on, and then you're suddenly blinded?
Only when I'm
always,
sad.
almost
every
daily.
time I go to the bathroom at night.
The idea of the eye patch was to keep one eye night blind. So when you drop below deck where there is no light because it's watertight, you could swap the eye patch over and be able to see.
No shit. That's fucking dope. See, these guys are smart, dude. I'm fucking in. Let's go.
Modern day problems require modern day solutions, and these drunk fuckers had it.
Hey, you know what? All props to them. Those drunk, syphilitic, fucking crazy people.
There was another problem that they did encounter, though, that wasn't resolved for a little bit. So on a ship, you call the right side starboard and you call the left side port. During this time frame, it wasn't known as port. It was known as something else. So here's a dumper chump for you.
Oh shit.
Oh yes.
Left.
Oh, yeah.
It's called left.
Okay, was it either called left,
Ah, shit.
ardbird, lardbird, or farboard? Keep in mind, right is starboard.
Starboard and farbird. That sounds like it would like starboard and farbird.
What was the middle one?
Phonetically.
Larbird.
LAR?
L-A-R.
I think it's farbird.
What's your reasoning on that?
Because he said they had a problem. And so I think the problem would be starboard and farbird being too close together.
You could say the same thing about starboard and larboard.
Yeah, but what is
Far and
larbird?
lar.
That sounds... What's lar? Star is a word and far is a word. Lar is nothing.
That's okay. See, this is why we need you in the sidebar, because me and Bo would immediately go with the wrong answer.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to stick with that.
Well, I don't know that it's the right answer.
The answer is
It's
horny
just my
boat.
guess.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've heard larboard before.
If you've heard larbird, then... Okay. How about this?
couldn't tell
Andrew...
you why
Let's make
it
a
was
bet. Let's
larboard.
make a bet.
Andrew, no, Andrew, you and I go farbird, and
Okay.
Zach and Bo go larbird. That way, at least somebody's right.
And the winners get to yell at the losers in pirate speak for 30 seconds at the end of the podcast.
Sounds good to me.
30 seconds. How about 10
15,
seconds?
15.
500 seconds.
As much as we can
15,
do before
okay,
we run
15.
out of words. Okay,
All
what's
right.
the answer?
All right, so the correct answer is actually larbird.
Oh, Zach!
And
It was
Zach,
in your
the
memory
reason,
banks. You did it.
the
I
reason why
regret
that probably
siding
sticks
with
with
Ash.
you is because that's what they used in Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh, did
yeah,
they?
that sounds
Yep.
right then.
So left was larbird,
Ah.
right was starboard. You could see how this would cause a problem
too
when several
confusing.
cannons are coming off at the side and you're sailing and someone's coming across and someone is shouting, enemies hard on larboard. Was that right or left?
Starboard? Did you say? And everyone's deaf from fucking cannon fire, so it's like ringing
Exactly.
in your
Well, no,
ears.
they had PPE.
Because eventually you're gonna run
It was
out of
fine.
wax.
They had
Still,
they had wax in their ears.
or like it fell out of your ear and so it still went off. Like.
Yeah, tinnitus all fucking day. Jesus Christ.
With the larboard. I have
You're right. I didn't know what the fuck you just said.
I have one more dumper chump for you.
Oh my gosh, we're going 2 in a row?
Hit me.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Hit me.
fucking go,
Hit
boys.
me.
Because
Dump on
next,
me.
we're
Justin,
going to
Justin,
start
just
getting into
take
some
the biggest
storytelling
dump on
after
me.
this.
Okay.
So this one, it is 3 dumps and a jump.
Whoa.
3 dumps and a chump. All right, let's go.
That sounds like my perfect Saturday.
Hit me,
Let's
baby.
go.
Hit me, baby, 3 more times.
Which of these is not a type of ship used by pirates? Was it the schooner, the scallion, the bark, or the hooker?
I've heard of schooner. I think I've heard of
Our
scallion.
sister has a dog named Schooner, and he's a
Our
very
sister-
good boy.
And he's also a boat.
Mm-hmm. Good boat.
He is also a boat.
He's a boat dog.
That's true. He is
I
a
think
boat.
I've heard of scallion or scallion. I don't know. That might be a vegetable.
What was the third one?
Bark,
Ark, like
Ark.
of the
Bark.
Covenant.
A-R-K.
Oh, bark.
like with a
Bark,
B,
Like a
bark.
dog, like a dog
Oh,
boat.
like a tree.
I think my guess would be that
Bark.
so
Bark.
it's
Bark.
we are picking the one that's incorrect.
Yeah.
I think it's
Bark.
bark.
I would go with bark as well.
I'm down for that.
This is based purely on a gut feeling and no actual reasoning.
See, that's the best feeling to go on because that's how Bo lives his life.
Mm-hmm. off bark.
That's why you got the last one right. You followed your gut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is incorrect.
Son of a Zach.
Oh, no.
You
Schooner,
little shit.
bark, and hooker are all classes of ships or permutations of them. I made up Skellion.
Really? I think
I'm
of
so
Galleon.
disappointed.
Yep, Skellion.
Is
But
Galleon one?
Galleon is one. Yes.
Okay, that might have been it.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
close enough for me.
So who's ready to talk about some famous pirates?
Yarr.
I picked two for brevity's sake here because of course we're going to talk about Blackbeard, but first I wanted to talk about a female pirate. She was incredibly.
Is it Bonnie?
It is Anne Bonny.
I actually know a little bit about Anne Bonny. It's a really, really cool fucking story on her.
Yeah. So she was actually born as the illegitimate daughter of a lawyer and his maid. Ashamed of this fact, but still keeping her around, she dressed him as a boy for most of her early life. Anne really didn't like this idea, really didn't like being controlled, and always wanted to kind of get out. It's reported that at 13 years old, she actually stabbed a servant girl with a table knife.
Holy fuck.
Damn,
Yeah.
man.
She
Holy crap.
she was born and ready to be a fucking pirate.
Did the table maid deserve it, though? Did they deserve it?
I don't know. I actually don't know the context surrounding that.
Did they say some stupid shit like, oh, the best sushi's in Tucson, Arizona? She's like, hey, fuck you.
I bet she said something about knowing a woman's place, and she was like, well, fuck that, and stabbed her.
The fuck you do?
Actually, you're dead.
So, to get out
So
of this
she's
life,
Arya
though,
Stark, is what you're saying.
yeah, kind of. If Arya wishes she was cooler, it didn't just
We've been
complain
watching a lot
about
of Game
everything.
of Thrones. That's where all these Game of Thrones references are coming from.
Gotcha. So to get out of this life, she actually married a small-time pirate by the name of Jim Bonny. And doing this caused her father to disown her. And in retaliation, Anne set fire to his entire plantation and left with Jim for New Province.
God, she's a bad bitch.
Get
I love her.
fucked, Dad.
Set it the fuck on fire and was like, I'm out.
Wow.
It's not a phase, Dad. This is who I am.
Yes. And well, this actually caused some contention with her new husband because he was also under the impression of this is a woman's place. You don't come out, blah, blah, blah. And actually, she lived in a very loveless marriage for a couple of years until she said, fuck that guy. I met Calico Jack Rackham, the aforementioned guy with
She
the
just
skull
needed
and-
him to get out. And now she's moving on to bigger and
Right.
better things.
I mean, honestly, if we're talking about names, Jack Rackham, that's a hot fucking name. If you call it Calico Jack Rackham, it's like, holy shit, that dude is the hottest motherfucker.
That dude hung dong, 100%.
Unless he's a professional pool player, then you're like, okay,
that's just kind of sleazy. No, he was apparently a very charismatic, very well dressed. He loved fine silks and cloths and adorned himself in all sorts of different, like fineries. That's where the name Calico came from.
So you're saying he was Lenny Kravitz.
He was Lenny Kravitz, dude. You could see his dick from space. That's how fucking cool he was.
Yep.
But that all did very good things for Anne, and she said, I like that. Divorced Jim Bonny and fell in love with Calico Jack Rackham and set sail with him and another female pirate by the name of Mary Reed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've heard of Mary Reed as well.
Yeah, they were quite a group together. Now, some historians would say that they were all three of them roommates. I like to believe the opposite because, come on,
they were
pirates.
just like really close friends,
They're just like
the
really
world's
close friends
most
and
dangerous
roommates.
polycule.
But at
There's
this
the
time,
world's first thruple on that. Probably
Mary
Probably
Reed
first, yeah.
was also no stranger to dressing as a boy. So the two of them kept up a disguise while sailing under Jack Rackham's ship until eventually Anne's disguise faltered. And she basically stood up. One of them saw something and she was like, all right, this is it. This is my chance. She stood up. She tore her shirt open, exposed breast, and was like, fight me, kill me, throw me off the side. I don't give a shit. This is who I am.
Dude, I'm imagining she's wearing like one of those overly fake mustaches. She's on the deck, like she's sweeping, like, hey, today, and then it like falls off and she keeps sweeping, and then everyone looks at her and she looks up and goes, what? The mustache is on the floor, and then she rips her tits out.
I mean, not too far off. But the best part about this is with the pirate society, it was a chance for everyone. And the pirate crew couldn't fucking care less. We're talking about a culture of people all displaced from their homes. We have freed slaves. We have Caribbeans that have joined in. We have Spanish privateers, English privateers, all living under the same sails. They were like, cool,
so this was
have fun.
Mary or
This was Anne.
or Anne.
This was Anne.
But they're just like, put your tits away, Anne. We don't care.
They were like, cool, tits. And anything else?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, cool. Any other chicks out here wearing fake mustaches who want to whip them out? Go for it.
And Mary was like, oh,
And the one obviously doing it in the corner was like, oh, definitely not, just a man.
But they had a very good career of piracy for a couple of years until off the coast of Jamaica, after a particularly good haul, the crew got pickled. I mean, they just kept fucking drinking and passed out in the hull of the ship.
You don't mean in a pickle. You mean pickling in their internal organs.
They drank
Theoretical pickling.
very heavily. And it was at this time that a British man of war began to overtake the ship. Anne Bonny and
Getting
Mary
caught really
Read.
drunk isn't great.
Yeah, Anne Bonny and Mary Read were the only ones that kept their wits about them. The entire crew hid below the deck, Jack Rackham included, afraid, shit-faced, and left the two of them alone on the deck.
Jack, you had such good big dog energy, man. Come on.
Yep. They fought alone against all that they could, carried them down into the deck, and began firing. Anne Bonny and Mary Read started shooting into the crew's quarters to get the crew roused to come out and help them fight.
Fucking awesome.
They were
You
like,
need
what
to
the fuck?
get the
Come on.
fuck up or you
Get
need to
the
like
fuck
be
up.
dead. We gotta do something.
What's the best way to wake somebody up? Gunfire.
They wounded several and actually killed two of them. They didn't give a
crewmates?
shit.
Wow.
Yeah, they're crewmates because they left them alone and they were drunk under the deck
Yeah,
and
I would.
they didn't give
I
a shit.
absolutely would.
Gotta be honest. I used to work at like a family fun center, and I would do the same thing if I had the opportunity to do so, to wake up these people to like fix the go-karts or something. I would do that.
Well, unfortunately, this tactic didn't prove fruitful either, as the two of them were outnumbered, and eventually the entire crew was taken into prison. Anne and Mary and Jack were all scheduled for execution by hanging. However, Anne and Mary decided to plead the belly, which is basically saying, I'm pregnant, don't hang me.
Smart play.
And there seemed to be some validity to this. Both of them were indeed pregnant at the time.
Oh shit.
Jack Rackham was hung in a gibbet for several days, and a gibbet is, imagine a steel cage that's very person-shaped that they shut you in and hang you out in the Caribbean sunlight.
Is that like in the beginning of? That's the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Like, there's like those cages?
Yeah, the second one. Yep. That is a gibbet. You can't sit down. You can barely stand up. The bars during the day are scalding hot because they're wrought iron. They're freezing cold at night. And before Jack was eventually killed, Anne visited him in his cell and was quoted saying, if you had fought like a man, you need not have hanged like a dog.
You fucking bitch.
Dude.
Hell yeah.
So Jack, but
Fucking
you're saying that
savage.
Jack Rackham racked him, but then she racked him back. Come.
Yes.
I love it.
But the story unfortunately turns to Mary getting a fever and dying in prison.
Oh,
That's so boring compared to her life. I hate that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
That's really
so the documentation
anticlimactic.
that we have of this is that Mary's body was documented to have been buried in St. Catherine's Church in Jamaica nearby. But no record of her child was documented, suggesting that she was still pregnant when she died.
Boo.
However,
Ooh.
Anne had no documented execution, no documented death certificate, and mysteriously vanished from the prison. The idea,
She's to this day, she is still roaming around.
well, the accepted idea is that her father came and bailed her out and smuggled her home.
Oh, you've really done it this time, man.
There is
That would be sad.
speculation. There's speculation that the two of them managed to escape, faked Mary's death, and continued together. But only as roommates. Only as roommates.
All these roommates. Yeah, roommates.
Yeah.
Best
That's
friend.
my headcanon.
Yeah.
Roommates and best friends. They're just really close. They only have one bed because it's cheaper to rent a
Yeah.
one-bedroom apartment. And your back hurts
Exactly.
when you sleep on the couch. It's like that's it.
Yeah, it's
In this economy?
it's just gals being pals.
And Mary
Yeah.
Read had
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
run a restaurant earlier in her life with her previous husband. So I like to think that the two of them kind of like fucked off to the upper side of the Gulf, maybe like New Orleans or somewhere, and started a restaurant together.
They opened a bed and breakfast. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
I love
And
that for them.
Many
This
years
is my
when they were
headcanon now.
Yeah, me too. It's my headcanon. when they
I
were
think
old
that's
and
pretty
sitting on their
cool.
porch together after a lifelong relationship of being roommates, and they look into each other's eyes and they say, Calico Jack, what a bitch.
What a fucking bitch. Biggity bitch. Calico Jack, more like Calico
Hey, remember that
Hack.
time
Am
that
I
we were
right?
pirates?
Remember that time?
That one time in pirate camp?
In pirate camp? We're all singing shanties?
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
What a good story. Did you say we're going to talk about Blackbeard a little bit? I know we're like getting close to the hour mark, but honestly, I'm down to keep going if you are. I can always
Yep.
like, you know.
So
do some
Blackbeard.
movie magic.
Let's listen to Blackbeard.
Yeah, Blackbeard's last little bit that I have to talk about. So, he was very, very good at playing the theatrical side of things. No one's actually sure where he came from. They just know that his first name was Edward and his last name was either
from the sea.
His last name was either Teach or it was Thatch.
I've heard that before. I've one of my friends is will argue with you to the end of the earth, saying that it was Teach, and he has really no basis other than he thinks it is. But I've had this conversation with him many times.
There was a birth record for an Edward Teach in Bristol, in the UK or in England, and that's considered to be where he came from. What we know is that he was a privateer at some point in time, probably during the Queen Anne's War, and turned pirate at some point in time afterwards. Showed up in Nassau, gathered a crew, and just started fucking killing people.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Anyone in particular, or just everyone?
Well, he was responsible for the sacking of Charleston Harbor in South Carolina. And basically, he blockaded the harbor out, stole a couple people from it, and held them on his ship, and was like, I will kill them unless you give me what I want. The only thing that he wanted, though, was medicine. He wasn't after riches. He wasn't looking to plunder. He just wanted basic medicine. But he was really good at playing into the theatrics. So I'm sure you've seen the picture of him.
This time?
Medicine was...
It was cocaine. It was a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, it was like cocaine. The very, very first forms of, I guess, like antibiotics. You know, like, oh, hey, this will help clear up my syphilis. But not really, because we don't have penicillin. And
so
we don't
seen the what?
We don't like scurvy.
Scurvy, yarr.
Yeah, scurvy's bad.
Crabs are bad too.
Yeah.
Disagree.
We're talking about pubic lice.
Still
agree.
Well, they're cousins, so
I think I may have spaced out for a second there. All I remember hearing is someone saying crabs are bad. Well,
I'm going to clip that out.
Pubic crabs are
nope,
not
I know.
actually crabs,
Nope,
so it's okay.
Nice cold open right there.
So Jesse, you said so you've seen and then we went off about crabs. I'm sorry.
I
talking about Blackbeard and theatrics.
Oh yes, there's a carving of him. If you look up Blackbeard, it's the first image that you're going to see. It's it's a black and white carving. He's got a very intense look on his face. His beard's kind of pointing out in opposite directions. He's got a cane in one hand, and if you look into his beard and into his hair, they're kind of pointed out. The reasoning for this is during boarding parties and any sort of interaction with someone that wasn't with his crew, Blackbeard would twirl cannon wicks into his beard and hair and light them on fire. This gave the illusion of a man facing the devil himself. And he played into this.
Love that.
He would lean into it. He would growl his voice. He would light his fucking hair on fire, surround himself in smoke, and like he could explode at any time. People were terrified of him.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
So terrified that when he took the king's pardon eventually and retired to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, realized he wasn't done, scuttled the Queen Anne's Revenge, boarded a new ship called the Adventure, continued pirating for about 2 years, and then was like, okay, I think I'm done. Settled in around 1718-ish in Ocracoke Island in Beaufort, North Carolina, which I mentioned earlier. He actually has a house there. I visited it, and I've been out to Ocracoke. This area then was very notorious for having Blackbeard at it. And the governor of Virginia really didn't like this. He was scared. He thought Blackbeard was going to start coming up into his shorelines and pillaging his supplies and his plantations. And he sent Lieutenant James Maynard with the special mission of finding, hunting down, and killing Blackbeard.
Well, that's not very nice. Because he was like, I'm done now. He's retired, right?
And
okay, but do you want a notorious pirate that's known to have flames emanating from his very person, whose group has killed so many people at your doorstep? Who's like, I swear I'm done this time. I know I lied before and stole the ship, but I'm definitely done this time.
So here's my logic on that one. Sorry, my dog is barking. Here's my logic on that one. So if
woof.
Okay, you don't have to bark because there's a dog barking somewhere.
Woof, woof, woof. So on a hockey team, there's a guy on your team who's a fucking asshole. If you play against him, it's always not in your favor because he's a fucking asshole. But if he's on your team, you love this person. If that guy is like, I'm done with pirating, I'm going to come hang out with you now, you're on my team now, and I love you. I think that's awesome. I would be on this guy's side.
Unfortunately, it didn't work that way.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah. And Maynard traveled down there, found Blackbeard's hideout, and began assailing him in what he had kind of made as his own little like compound. Blackbeard took to ship, boarded Maynard's vessel, and fought him with a brace of pistols and his cutlass ready to go. And the idea at the time, so instead of having, like a gun with multiple shots in it, Blackbeard was famous for carrying a brace of pistols. The dude had 4 guns down his baldric, the belt that goes across his chest. He'd pull, fire, drop, pull, fire, drop, pull, fire, drop.
I fucking love this guy.
And then just hit him with the gun.
He was a madman. And unfortunately, at this time, Lieutenant James Maynard was able to kill Blackbeard. Not before he suffered 5 shots from a flintlock, which those are 50 cal balls. Let's keep that in mind.
Fuck.
5 shots.
And
Jesus
over
Christ.
20 wounds from a blade before he collapsed.
Some Rasputin shit.
Yeah,
at this time,
I thought you said he had 4 guns.
Well,
no, that was Blackbeard.
he was shot by other people.
Blackbeard was shot
5 times.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. And he was quoted famously around this time saying, "In a world without gold, we would have been heroes."
Yeah.
That's really
especially
poignant.
horny gold.
Yeah. And at this time, having been felled in combat, he was beheaded. His head was
Amanda's
hung.
dead. Have some respect.
I respect this man with my fucking life.
Oh, yeah. He was beheaded. His head was hung from the mast for all to see until it eventually decayed and kind of like fell off. And they tossed his headless body over the ship. Sailors aboard Maynard's vessel reported seeing that Blackbeard's body swam around the ship up to 3 times before finally sinking. The man's reputation was so terrifying that even in death, they were afraid that he would climb back up the side without a head and continue fighting.
Hell yeah.
Oh
Good for
my
him.
gosh, that's great.
I love that journey for him.
There's also a legend that on Ocracoke Island that you can see his headless ghost. I've been out there a couple of times. I have been looking for it. He's supposed to be wandering, searching for his head. I have never seen the ghost. I will never stop looking for it.
I love that. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's like really the ideal ghost, you know, like a pirate ghost. Oh, it checks all of your boxes because you've got like, it's a weird old timey ghost. It's got some sort of horrible disfigurement, in this case, headless. There's a really great story behind it, murder.
And it's on an island of like 100 people.
Spooky Island.
I knew
it's
someone out there.
The perfect ghost.
I knew someone out there whose graduating class in high school was 12.
Dude, this story about pirate ghosts, this is a perfect case for Scoop and the gang.
Well, actually,
It's a
Zombie Island was
ghost.
kind of based off of this idea.
What's Zombie Island?
It was the first of the like 99 to 2003 animated movies where like things were actually real.
Dude, I remember when that came
Those
out
were
because
awesome.
Specifically I was over at my friend's house the night that it like debuted, and my parents were trying to get us to like stop watching it so they could bring me home, and I was like, "But Mom,
Scooby-Doo.
this time the monsters are real."
Yup. But unfortunately,
and it was great.
This kind of marked the decline of the golden age of piracy, as 2 years later, piracy had pretty much been quelled, and the Caribbean islands and surrounding Gulf were settled and established within civilization.
I heard the air quotes around that word.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a pretty heavy scoff in there.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But this marks the end of my lesson on piracy and the golden age of pirates.
I loved it. I loved all of it.
I love it.
I had a great
They
time.
lived gloriously.
Here for a good time, not a long
Oh
time.
yeah, YOLO, swag, yarr, all that shit. That was great. I do have one question for the group though.
Yes.
What do you do with a horny bow? What do you do with a horny bow? What do you do with a horny bow when he's 4 drinks deep? Hey,
Throw him in the shower. Really cold. And throw him in a cold shower.
what was that?
Let's stop talking about this.
What was that called when you put him under the ship?
I can't carry a tune. Keel haul him.
Yeah, keel haul him under the fucking ship. Keel him under the fucking... I'm sorry, Bo. I would
It's
never do
okay.
that to you.
It's a good song. I love it.
No, wait, we have to end it. We have to end it with you guys berating us in pirate speak.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but we can't end it yet because we have to do our ending segment. Where, well, first we have to thank Justin for the riveting
Thank you
tales
so
of
much.
piracy.
Yeah, that was great. I can't wait for your
you.
subsequent Viking episode.
Thanks, guys. I really did enjoy this, and I look forward to the next time that you want to have a good historical dumping on you.
I think that's pretty
episode
fucking
20,
cool.
Probably.
This is my
let's do our
first
little
day.
ending segment. Zach,
Yeah.
What was the ending segment?
Yeah. What's the where you say your favorite thing that you learned?
Yeah. Okay. Zach, start us off. What's your favorite thing that you learned, Zach?
My favorite thing that I learned is that Calico Jack hung massive dong.
Oh, cool. What about you, Bo? What was your favorite thing you learned?
The torture thingy. I forget the
You like
name.
torture?
When we talked about it, it was kind of
It's just
brutal,
we
and I
just
love
said it like 30
Keel-
seconds ago.
keel hauling?
Keyholing. I know. You expect me to remember?
Did you say keyholing?
Keyholing.
Oh, that's a different thing, and I have a
You said
shanty for that
koala.
one.
Oh my god.
All right.
It's very dirty.
In 2 sentences, what is keyholing?
Keyhole.
no.
Ooh. All right.
Well, if you look up on Urban Dictionary, which I haven't, but I assume it's when you take your car keys.
Well,
You put them in a hole. That hole could be in
I
the
regret
ground
asking.
or in a human. It's dealer's choice.
we're gonna go with that one. I'll send you the
Yeah.
shanty later.
Well, you can.
My
you
favorite
can-
thing.
Yeah, Ash, what's up?
My favorite thing is that Anne and Mary probably faked her death and they got away, and that's what I say happens. And I love that. I love their whole story. That was my favorite thing.
My favorite thing was Anne Bonny wearing a fake mustache, and my favorite other thing was Anne Bonny shit whipping her tits out for everyone to see, and just like stomping all over their faces with her titties, and I love it.
Weaponize those titties.
Oh, she did. She at that point she hung more dong than Calico Jack Rack. She took over.
They said, and I quote, "Calm your tits," and she said, "Fuck off."
That's amazing.
Hanging dong is really a state of mind.
Justin, what did?
And then
what's the
they
best-
were all
what's-
cowards
What did
in the
you
end.
learn? Yeah, they were. Justin, what did you learn about teaching us?
I learned that Bucko and Buccaneer come from a very similar place, and I enjoy that.
Amazing.
Buckaroo?
Hey there, Buckaroo. Okay, so let's do Bo and Zach. You may now verbally berate Ash and I for 10 to 15 seconds in pirate speak. Go.
Are you fucking idiots?
Are you scurvy dog? I can't believe you didn't know the correct answer to the question. Yeah, come here. I'm going to cut your face off with my cutlass, and then I'm going to throw you off the board with a rope tied to you. I'm going to fucking keel haul you.
Oh my god.
Why did you become Canadian?
What that guy
I
said.
loved it. It was so good. I was half expecting hoser to come out of your mouth because you would totally went
fucking
Canadian.
hoser.
Yeah, fucking hoser.
Oh no, it's Canadian pirates.
Great. I love that.
We will talk about Canadian pirates on the War of 1812.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
That's
they
a
burned down the
Canadian
White
pirates
House.
come into play?
Tune in next time for that level of privateer fuckery.
Oh, may I have a?
Thank you
may
so
I have
much,
a-
Justin.
Thank you, Justin. I have a
Wrangling
I have a,
these yahoos is difficult, but you did really good.
You did great. You did awesome. You did a good job. I have a suggestion for the group. Instead of our hubba buys, I would like Justin to sing a sea shanty for us.
Okay.
Are you guys okay with that?
No, but I guess we'll do it.
I mean, I don't know why we can't do both, but sure.
Okay, let's do both. All right, let's do Justin. Sing me a shanty. Go.
Oh, I got a pirate
3, 2, 1.
joke.
What?
So a pirate walked into a tavern.
God damn it.
You bastard.
Sing us out.
Joke I've ever heard. Holy fuck! It's driving me nuts. All right, Justin, go.
Sing us out, Justin.
We are all born free, but forever live in chains, and we bat into existence on and on. We'll take whatever comes to be while keeping hopeful melody.
Yarr!
And we'll cruise through the darkness until the warmth of dawn.
Yarr!
Hey,
So I was
what
trying
are
to
you
do like a
supposed
little
to say?
John
Like, what's the
Hypeman.
pirate cheer?
Oh, the pirate cheers. Oh no, cannons are being shot at us.
Is it Yarr?
Gonna load it up.
Here, here. Har, har.
Is it
har?
har? Is it-
Har, har.
I don't fucking know.
Justin, what is it?
Har,
Aye.
yo, we specky.
Yarr.
Are you scurvy dogs? All right. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Bye bye.
Zach, Ashbo, Andrew, Justin, too. This is your pirate podcast crew. Let's get jumped on and drink some grog and info dump on you. We learn about the pirate life, their boats, drinks, hair, and even some fights. The golden age is here to stay on. Get jumped on and info dump podcast. Yarr!
See you
Why is
later.
pirating so
Okay,
addictive?
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for saying it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yarr.
I threw a
Bye-bye.
pirate joke in there.
Yar.
Oh, yar.
Bar, bar, har.